Well, it's the Beehole. What's up, everybody? Beehole 23, I believe, coming at y'all from the dark, dirty depths of my parents' house. um, yeah, man, I'm super happy to be back in America, man. This is my first solo Beehole in a while. In fact, a pretty long while. So it's kind of nice to be back in the rhythm of things. Still making videos, doing my podcast and all. Just I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of like feeling it out, just being back home again, being with the family. And before I talk about that, though, I just want to give a quick shout out to a good buddy of mine, Don McLeod. Don, if you're listening, man, big shout out to you. Much respect. And this guy, Don, was a follower of mine back when I lived in Phnom Penh, like just a few months after I started doing No Joke Howard videos. And he right away, like he didn't like me at first, as a lot of my fans don't. I don't like saying fans. I mean, I guess I have fans. Maybe that's just my own fucking issues with self-esteem. I don't have fans. Nobody likes me. Boo boo bee boo. But that's bullshit. Don is a fan of mine. Don is also a friend of mine as well. And he ended up moving to Cambodia very shortly, or very briefly rather, and stayed for I think maybe a month or two. And like his first couple days there, he like lands a sweet ass job in Phnom Penh at this place called Score Bar, which is like one of the only sports bars in Cambodia. And I was happy for him at first, but it just was to the point where he was making not that much money and having to work like 14-hour days constantly. So I think he's definitely not as he's definitely a lot happier now that he's out of Cambodia. And anyways, not to ride Don's dick too much, but shout out to you, Don. You're fucking amazing. I cannot wait to hang out with you again and work with you in the future, man. I want to give another shout out to a special lady named Ava. Ava and I have been talking for a little while now, and she is somebody who I would consider my friend, somebody who I'd like to meet in the very near future and get to know a lot better. And I think that she feels the same way. So I'll just leave it at that. And a quick shout out to Steve from Massillon, Ohio. Steve has been emailing me for a long time now. He's been giving me lots of good video ideas, and I just really appreciate that. He's been super cool, supportive, and understanding, and gives me good ideas for video topics too. So shout out to Steve. I'm done with my shout outs. Let's get to it. So this last Sunday was my first time ever doing mushrooms. My first experience with psychedelic mushrooms, and I did cubensis mushrooms. I'm not sure the name or the strain or whatever, but basically for a light effect, you're supposed to eat about a gram dry. But I wanted to have like a breakthrough psychedelic experience, so what I did is I had 5 grams. So I was here at the house, and just a disclaimer, like I know that a lot of people like to talk shit because I moved back to America. And to some people, they think I came back here because I got into trouble or something. Like because I'm a loser, I got in trouble and I couldn't make it. No, I was just ready to leave. I was doing just fine in Cambodia. Yeah, I had some bouts with drugs. Yeah, blah 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 blah. But I mean, I was still running a business. I mean, I was still making money and shit. I just lost passion for what I was doing, I guess, and I decided to come back home. It wasn't a matter of I couldn't do it. And, the fact that I'm staying with my family now, and then people like to make fun of me that I smoke weed, that, oh, well, you're living with your parents and you're drinking alcohol, because I had a Guinness or whatever. In fact, I'm drinking a Guinness right now. It's delicious. Shout out to Ireland. And that I have psychedelic mushrooms and I'm staying with my parents. Well, yeah, I'm fucking lucky as hell, man. I get to live with my parents. I get to save my money. I get to make money. I get to be around my family that's not going to live forever. And yeah, I do get to trip balls on psychedelic mushrooms and have a great time. And they're very accepting of it. And they're totally open to it. So, dude, my life is fucking amazing. Anybody hating on me for that, kill yourself. Anyways, so I had 5 grams, and I didn't really know what to expect, of course. And I just ate them straight. Like the person who I got them from insisted that I, like put it with fucking peanut butter or like orange juice or whatever. Nah, man. I put them in my mouth. I chewed them up. I swallowed them like a fucking boss, and they were okay. So I sit down and I start watching Narcos, which is the show on Netflix about Pablo Escobar and all that, which I'm sure a lot of you know about this show. I just started watching it just a few days ago, of course, and obviously it was fantastic. But my mushrooms start kicking in a bit, and I could tell because I'm like laying down in a bed, and then I repositioned my head, and when I did that, I felt like every little nerve and joint in my body just like it wasn't pain, but I felt like a sharp, uh, not ache. It wasn't a pain. Basically, I just felt everything. I felt everything in my body move, and it was slightly uncomfortable. And maybe it was a sign like, hey man, like you shouldn't be laying on your ass so much. At least stretch out or get your heart rate up or something. But I started to feel the body buzz, and then what started happening is I started getting like these little micro head rushes where like for maybe like a second you basically feel dizzy, and it was like in and out and in and out. And then slowly but surely like I started to peak on mushrooms, and with mushrooms it's a bit different than acid. So let me just talk to you about the difference between acid and mushrooms in terms of the effect, and well, not just the effect, but like the layout of the trip. So if when you pop acid, like when you drop acid, anybody who's gotten really torn up on acid knows that it comes on pretty slowly, and then it starts to peak. So you start to go up and up and up, and then you hit a peak for maybe a couple hours, and then you start to go back down. You start to descend back to sobriety, but there's still like some lingering effects. I'd say like the meat of the acid high, the meat of the acid trip is about 8 hours. And then there's another few hours of after effects, and sometimes it can be longer, just depends on how much you took. Whereas with mushrooms, it like for me, you get a bit of a body buzz, you get a little tingly, and you get a little happy, and then boom, it just fucking punches you right in the face. It hits you right in the face, and it's really intense for like 3 hours. It at least for me, and then you start to descend back into sobriety, but it's not like you're not high anymore. You're still tripping, but in terms of like the dissociation and not knowing if your life is real anymore, like that like that lasts for a few hours. I'd say like 2 to 3 hours probably. Pardon me, just sipping my Guinness because I'm an alcoholic, taking advantage of my parents' kindness. Everybody, um, even though I work every day and I contribute and all that. Yeah, I mean, of course. So as far as the trip goes, I'd say that the fundamental theme of doing the mushrooms, at least this particular time, was my family. Um, I thought a lot about my dad. I thought a lot about my mother, of course, and my brother, but honestly, a lot about my dad. I need to spend more time with him, and I think that he would say the same. You know, like he would like to spend more time with, well, not just me, but with all of us. And I guess with me being gone in Cambodia for so long, um, you know, didn't really, well, I didn't really have my family with me aside from my mother. Now my mother and I got super tight in Cambodia because it was just she and I for like a year there. Um, I didn't have my brother to talk to really, or my dad, so um, it's really really nice to be back home, and I'm just super 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 fucking lucky that my family is still intact. Like even though my parents are divorced, they're still cool. They're still cool with each other, and again, I'm really lucky because growing up, pretty much every no, not pretty much every friend I had, boy or girl, their parents didn't get along, or they didn't get along with their parents very well, especially their fathers. So, I just thought a lot about that, and I even thought about how mushrooms could help our family. Like if we all occasionally do mushrooms or microdose or anything like that. And again, allegedly, of course. I mean, I don't really have mushrooms, guys, but what if we did? Anyways, I I think that it could bring not just our family but people closer together in general. And I'm sure to some people listening, it's like, yeah, no shit, dude. Of course, psychedelics would. And I just wish that there was a bit more um, regulation, I guess. Like people took it more seriously because it seems like when you bring up mushrooms and acid, people are like, oh man, so it's hallucinogenic, silly drugs. Those crazy drugs gonna make you see shit that's not there. Well, it is there. It is there. Um, I 100% believe it is there. Like the visuals I was getting on the mushrooms and the insight into my family, and in not just my family but myself, and just how people are in general. I think that it is there. And I think that just like how certain animals like dogs or dolphins or whatever can hear frequencies that we cannot hear. I mean, it's the exact same thing when you take psychedelics. I mean, it's there the whole time. We're just not able to sense it. So I really I just love psychedelics, man. I think they're so amazing, and I think that they command respect because they can fuck your life up. I mean, I'm sure that if you abuse, ketamine and acid and mushrooms and all that type of shit, it's gonna have a negative impact on your life because you need to take that feeling that you had during that trip and then try to apply it to your life down on earth, if that makes sense. So it is tough to do, and that's why I suggest people do it on a fairly regular basis. Because not only is it fun, it is fun, and it does help people connect. It does bring people together. It does help people get empathy and understand what other people have to go through, and not be so selfish and entitled. I think that's a huge thing, and yeah. I mean, like I said, it's fun, and I think that there's something to be learned from it. So that would be my biggest point. And I I did this last show, the last Beho with my brother, and I know that it gets like a lot of dislikes on YouTube, like the podcast I do, and I think that's because maybe people want to hear videos or whatever. They'd rather see like a 20-minute video or 15-minute video, but I'm still going to keep doing these shows, and if you all want to keep disliking them, that's fine, but I'm just understand that I'm going to keep putting them out for people to enjoy and listen to. And also, don't just sit here and listen to it. I mean, if I'm going to be doing an hour-long show, then I would expect people to do it like while they're cooking or washing dishes or driving or working or some bullshit, unless you really just want to sit there and listen to me talk for an hour. And if you do, that's cool. And one other thing that we had talked about in the show were Latinos. And when I say Latinos, I mean people from Mexico all the way down to South America. And a lot of them live here in America. And it's, to a lot of people, to a lot of Americans rather, it's a problem. They don't like it. And there's various reasons why they don't like it. I personally welcome them. I mean, to be 100% honest, I've always gotten along very well with Latinos and Hispanics, whatever you want to call them. I mean, I'm just gonna say Latino, and if anyone's got a problem with that, well, then you guys can send me an email. It'll be in the description box below. And something that I was thinking about when I was on mushrooms, and why, like one of the reasons I think that I myself and a lot of other people in particular respect them so much is not only because they're very hard workers, not because they have excellent attitudes in life, but because they're so family oriented. Like that is one of the fundamental just truths of being Latino, I guess. And I'm not saying it's the case for all of them, but they're very all about the family. And that's something that you don't see here amongst Americans a lot, because people want to, like if you're a mother and father, for example, like you want your kids to be out by a certain age, you want them in school, you want them out, and that's fine. But it's so ingrained in our culture. It's like you don't want to be together. It's like if you're with your family, then you're a fuck up. Like you're a loser. You're a leech. You're a like a burden, I guess, almost. Whereas like a lot of Latino families that I've met just throughout my life, like they stick together. Even if they move out of the house, they live right down the fucking street. I mean, it's just great, and it just makes for a strong people. Like if your family's strong and your parents are together and everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they put family first. I mean, that makes for strong people. Like, I don't mean just physically strong, but like mentally and emotionally strong. And I think that's awesome. And I think that's one of the reasons why we need more of that. And hopefully, there's not like a civil war amongst Latinos and the rest, which I don't think would happen. But I mean, there's definitely racism and prejudice, but definitely not from my end. I know I joke around sometimes, but in all seriousness, man, I mean, I don't want to fuck with anybody, of course. And I don't know, that's just kind of what I thought a lot about when I was doing mushrooms, was how so many people, like around this country especially, they're not like they just want to be separated from from their family. And it's like, if you stay with them, then you're somehow a loser, or you couldn't do it on your own. Like, you're not good enough. And I just think that's kind of fucked up. So shout out to all the Latinos across the country. It's honestly one of my favorite parts of being back here, is like the food, uh, the Latino people. I just think they have such good attitudes, and they're so, I mean, like, like, we all know that they're hardworking people, but like, they just have a positive attitude. Like, they don't bitch, they don't complain, they don't blame others for their issues. Like, they take personal responsibility for the most part. Like, you got some that like to play the whole white male privilege bullshit, which was the case sometimes. And in fact, when I lived in Cambodia, it was the case. I mean, the fact that I was a white guy, I was granted this privilege just because I'm white, so I could make twice as much money as a local Cambodian would, or a black guy, or an Indian, or just whatever the fuck, just because I'm a white, not male per se, but just because I'm, blonde hair, blue eyed Caucasian. So, anyways, I just wanted to talk a bit about that, man, and yeah, let me get to some fan questions. I actually have quite a few emails, so I'm just gonna do email questions and kind of go off that. So let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. All right, number one. Oh shit, this is actually from Steve, the dude I just gave a shout out to. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna save this one for last because it's actually pretty good. Let me go back up here. What the fuck? All right. Welcome back to USA by Mike E. Hey Bone, thing. What? Why do people? The thing Cambodians got right is their regard for white men, he says. I'm a black dude and I'd do anything for you. Chiseled face and fit body and blonde hair and pure skin. I don't know if this guy's serious or not. You could make a lot of money as a sperm donor. Dark women all over the world would love to have pretty kids and just to have your blonde DNA inside their bodies. And yeah, I'd spend my last dollar to lick your pink hole. I crave you. Wow. So basically the guy's saying that because I'm white and I mean, let's be honest, I have very handsome, attractive features, namely my jawline and my perfect nose and my pretty blue eyes. I mean, like, we all know it's true. This guy's saying that he wants to lick my pink hole. Great, dude. I don't know if it's pink. It might be brown. I might have a hairy, like, ass crack with a brown butthole. So sorry to disappoint you, dude. And he was saying that just because I have, I'm a white dude and my DNA's like that, I could donate my sperm. I mean, I guess that's a thought, but I don't know. Like, dark women all over the world want to have pretty kids with my blonde DNA. I mean, like, if I was a black dude, like, I'd be kind of pissed, I guess, right? Although you could just bang some snow bunnies, but I don't know. Like, if any black people are listening, like, and like your wife who is presumably presumably black as well. I mean, I could be wrong, but let's just say that she is. How would you feel if she came to you saying that she wanted a white man's sperm because black babies wouldn't be as pretty? I mean, I think that's kind of fucked up. Now, I will say this, and I was actually talking to my dad about this earlier, how Latinos, male and female, are probably the best looking people on the planet, just overall. I mean, obviously there's some busted ass ones, there's some muy feo, but I say all in all, like, Brazil, just Mexico, just all of Latin America, like, they probably have the most beautiful people just because it's the most ethnically diverse. You've got the Native American, basically, and Latinos are basically just Native Americans mixed with white people. I mean, essentially, or just Native American, because they're the same as the ones up here in America, except they just got invaded by the Spanish and not the English and French. So for all intents and purposes, Latino, like, all those people down there that are from that part of the world hundreds and hundreds of years ago, they are just Native Americans. Like it's true. Like they are. So you've got that. You've got the white European. You've got African black and possibly some Asian influence too, possibly. And I think that when you mix races, not only does it make for very interesting looking people because you have all these different features mixed together, but it also makes for amazing culture as well because you have all these different like ethnic backgrounds into one person. So like, as far as me donating my blonde sperm to dark women, I mean, I guess that's fine, but I don't know. I mean, I guess that means that dark men should be banging fucking white chicks, right? So it's kind of like the same thing. And I mean, like most people would agree that mixed people look the best. I got a really good buddy. His name is Bevan, and no, I don't have a crush on him. No, I'm not gay for him, but he's a very handsome dude. He's very well built. He's got a very nice beard. He's got handsome facial features. He's like there's not an ugly thing about him. And he's half Chinese and half white. Now, if you look at a normal Chinese guy, I think that a lot of us can agree that the vast majority of and I'm speaking from my own opinion and from other people's just opinions that I've talked to, male, female, gay, straight. A lot of people, they don't find Chinese men attractive because they have soft features, they look feminine, they're smooth. They have certain stereotypes like small dicks and all that. And again, I don't think that's necessarily true. That's definitely not true, but that is a stereotype. And I think that generally Asian men are not desired by a lot of people. Just not as desirable as maybe say white men or black men or Latino or Middle Eastern or even Indian, simply because they're typically always short. They're very shy usually and they don't seem to have much personality. And again, it's not always the case, but typically it is. It is. Let's fucking call it how it is. It is. I mean, like people say Asians have no souls for a reason. It's because a lot of them just come off that way. They come off like super cold and no, like there's no fucking soul in them whatsoever. They have no flavor. And on top of being physically unattractive people, typically. So I'd have to say that an Asian man's sperm is probably not very desired unless you just want to make another Asian person, which God knows there's plenty of them. So anyways, man, as far as me donating my master white seed to people, I guess that's cool with me, to be honest. I've actually always encouraged race mixing just because I think that a lot of people want to fuck people from other races but don't because of stereotypes or because of their family and friends but they might say, or because they're just shy. I don't know. I mean, but I think that they make for the best looking people and potentially not just physically superior, but like mentally and emotionally too, because you just have something from every corner and it's in one person. So anyways, gonna delete that email. Thanks for wanting to lick my pink hole, buddy. I appreciate it. Next question. Oh, fuck. God damn it. Shit. All right, another question. Joshua Faulkner. Hello, No Joke Howard. Just wondering what your future travel aspirations are. Will you save up and travel somewhere in the USA for vacation, or maybe perhaps some international travel for vacation or to live? Also, have you ever considered traveling with your brother since you are not held down with a job/girlfriend or rent at the moment? Thank you, Joshua Faulkner. I almost called you Faulkner. Wow. All right, man. So, good question. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely. Let's go to the last part of the email. Have I ever considered traveling with my brother? Absolutely. So before I moved to Cambodia, yeah, I was training Muay Thai and all that bullshit, and I was living in Prince George's County, Maryland, which is the hood. At least the part I was staying in was hood. And needless to say, I definitely wanted to get out of the city and explore more. And I had already seen pretty much all of the country from my truck driving days, but it was from a truck. It was never really like getting out, walking around, exploring, camping out, or whatever it is. So my brother and I, we were basically planning this elaborate road trip, and what we were going to do was drive out from Virginia to Colorado and then stay there for like a few, maybe like a week with a friend, because we have a friend out in Colorado who has just a cabin just outside of Denver up in the mountains. And our plan was to road trip all through Texas, camp out, all that, go through New Mexico, Wyoming, Arizona, see the Grand Canyon possibly, go up to Idaho and Oregon, and just see like the whole middle/western part of the states, because there is a lot to see. And if anyone's never been to America before, or if you have been there but only to like the coast, I mean, America is so amazing in the sense that geographically it's probably the most diverse country in the world. I mean, I would think. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe Chile is pretty geographically diverse because it's so long. The latitude is long. Or no, not the latitude, the longitude. Pardon me, I'm an idiot. I would say China's probably pretty diverse, and maybe even Australia, and other countries as well. But America has all the big cities. You've got the wide open plains and prairies. You've got the rolling hills. You've got the woods. You've got the small mountains. You've got the deciduous forests. You've got tropical areas down in Florida and Texas and Louisiana and Alabama. You've got the swamps. Obviously, you've got the wide open deserts. You've got the mountainous deserts. You've got snow-capped mountains. You have everything. You've got the coast, of course, the beaches. You've got the alpine forest. You've got all the major cities you can imagine. So, I mean, America is pretty fucking amazing. So, I would definitely suggest traveling here. So, that would be my thing. Like, if I was going to travel with my brother, then I would take basically a cross-country road trip with him for like at least a month. But the issue is, while I might not have a girlfriend, he does. And he's been with this girl for like 5 years. He intends on marrying her. So I can't imagine that she's going to be okay with him leaving for a month, which is obviously kind of messed up in my opinion, but it's really none of my business. It's not my relationship. So I don't know if my brother and I will ever get to do that, if his girlfriend or whoever's not going to be accepting of him traveling without her. Unless she wants to come too, but probably not going to happen. Anyways, I digress. Now, as far as me traveling across the world, because, I'm known for a lot of things, but I'd say one thing that I'm most well known for is the fact that I said fuck everything and I moved to Cambodia. And I made it work, in fact. And I helped a lot of people, learn about how to do that, like learn about moving there and living there and making money. I mean, I helped a lot of people. I really helped inspire a lot of people to like live their dreams, and I'm really happy about that. So that's what I'm really well known for, amongst other things as well. But so I guess I'm kind of like a famous, what would you call it, like expat? I don't even know. I don't know if I'm really that famous, but I'm definitely pretty well known amongst people who want to travel abroad, especially to Cambodia, obviously, and like just Asia. So I did that. I have no intention to ever go back to Cambodia, and I probably can't after I put out a video. It was called Goodbye Cambodia ... and fuck Prime Minister Hun Sen. And I still maintain that. Fuck Prime Minister Hun Sen. He looks like a damn frog in a suit. A lot of those people have frog faces, I noticed, and it's kind of funny. And just an observation. And that video's out. I'm sure that video went around Cambodia. I'm sure that they shared it with each other, and I'm sure that it's very possible that Hun Sen might even know about that. Granted, I didn't threaten the guy. I didn't say I was going to kill him. I didn't say that they should overthrow. I just simply said fuck him, and I just said what everyone's thinking, and the fact that he is a criminal, the fact that he is ruthless. He does not care about the poor people of his country. He doesn't. If he did, then there wouldn't be so many poor people. I mean, it's obvious. So if I do travel anywhere else, man, it's really hard to say because like I want to there's a chance I might travel around the country, just America a bit more. I mean, because there are people that I do want to meet. I'm not going to say names or really get into detail or anything, but basically, I'll just have a little fun here. So like if I go to Europe, let's say that I go to Europe. If I'm going to go anywhere, I would go to either Ireland or Scotland. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Ireland and Scotland at this point do not have a major influx of Muslims that are coming there and trying to make it their own country. And England is. And I actually blame England. Number one, I guess the chickens have come home to roost. I mean, the English did colonize and fuck up a lot of people across the world all throughout history, but kind of fair enough, I guess. But on the other hand, it's an island, and they can easily dictate who comes in and who doesn't come in. And I just feel like I guess I've lost respect for England. I guess I feel like after all the Muslims come in and they're raping and they're pillaging and they're trying to make it their own and they're saying that they're offended by the Union Jack flag and all that. And and then they're taking them down. Like my dad was telling me about the store owner, I guess in London, and he opened like a little English shop where they sell like tea sets and the Union Jack and all, just like classic English shit. And apparently he was forced to close down because so many Muslims were offended by the Union Jack, and they say it's racist. Even though, I mean, please explain to me how that's racist. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Please. I mean, it's just the flag of their country. Like that's their symbol. That's what they have. And if that's racist, like if you're a racist for simply existing, well, I don't know what to tell you. So I've lost a lot of respect for England and Sweden and all these other countries that have this major influx of Muslims coming in and trying to make it their own and trying to run shit. That's not cool. And it's even happening in a lot of parts of America. Um, not that I and of course, as a white guy, I've got to say, not that I have a problem with Muslims, but well, I have a problem with Muslims who like to kill people and who like to force others to think like them. I have a problem with that. And if the vast majority of them are like that, then fuck them. Fuck Muslims if that's how they are. If not, then that's cool too. And if any Muslims are listening and you're thinking about coming out here and doing some shit, just understand that you will get your fucking head blown right the fuck off, and like without hesitation, your head will be blown the fuck off with multiple rounds, 100%. Don't ever come to where to and I'm yes, I am going full redneck on y'all. Don't ever come to where I live and where my family lives and my friends live and think that y'all motherfuckers are gonna run shit. It ain't happening. You guys will get fucking capped and shot the fuck down. No problem. 100%. I digress again. Now, if I go back to Asia, I've always been interested, and I've always been interested in India, of course. But I wouldn't just want to go to India. I mean, I want to see like Sri Lanka. I want to see India. I want to see, like Eurasia. Like I want to see Armenia, Georgia, Azerbaijan, whatever the fuck it's called. I mean, but really, like the more I think about it, I mean, America has everything. It really does. And I'm really happy to be back. So in terms of traveling and moving and living, like I just don't see it happening. I do work. But the whole concept of having a job to me is much different than it was a few years ago. Like I understand that it's just a job. I can quit anytime. I'm not forced to do it. I can go anytime I want. But thankfully the job I have is super laid back and it's super just straight to the point, and it's something that I actually enjoy doing, and I get a bit of a workout during. So I mean, there's really nothing about my job that I don't like. Like everything's fine. You know, in fact, today I was working and I was operating a chainsaw. I was like trimming some cypress trees, and I accidentally just whatever, like the chainsaw nicked the side of this lady's house, like on the vinyl siding, so on the corner, and literally like it was like an inch hole. So it was a very small hole. But she noticed it and she asked me who did it, and I said, "Well, I did it. I did it. It was an accident. I apologize, And I was kind of joking with her. I was like, I'm just a man. I'm but a man. I'm not a machine." And she was kind of laughing. She thought it was pretty funny. And so she comes out to me like half hour later and she's like, "This is for your candor." I'm like, at first off, I'm thinking like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm gonna have to act like I know what candor means. She's like, "Thanks for being so candid about chipping the house up with the chainsaw." I said, "Oh, there's no problem. I mean, try to be honest and just own it." So she gives me $20 bill. I was like, "Fuck yeah!" Just for making a little mistake and admitting to it. And honesty always pays off, guys. And as far as a girlfriend goes, I don't know, man. I mean, to be honest, like I get a lot of women, well, trans women, hitting my, you guys know what I mean. I get a lot of ladies hitting me up, and they want to have sex with me, or they want to go out with me, or they want to meet me. And to be honest, I just like it's nice and it's kind of flattering, but something about it just doesn't smell right. It doesn't seem right. Not because I'm not, not because these women are not attractive. For the most part, they're very attractive. But there's one person that I've been talking to for a while, and I'm just, I think I'm just kind of waiting a bit. Obviously, I'm not going to wait my whole life or anything, but I'm basically kind of holding out for somebody that I have a good feeling about. not only that, but they're incredibly attractive as well. They just happen to live about 1,000 miles away from me, but they are from America. And I've been talking to this person for quite a while now, and I have intentions of meeting this person, and she does the same for me. So as far as traveling and leaving and traveling the world again, I don't see that happening anytime soon. I do see it happening in the future, but hopefully I can do it with somebody else, because one of my dreams has always been to travel with somebody that I love very much and that loves me back very much. Like I'm always the single guy traveling, and I'm kind of tired of it. So if my brother's not going to be able to do it, then I like it to be possibly this person. And yeah, so anyways, I don't really have a whole lot else to say about that, man. I hope that answered your question, Joshua Faulkner. Now, last question of the show here. It's from Steve. Femdom transgender. She wants to be on top. Hey, Howard. Would you consider being in a relationship with a femdom transgender woman? He sent me the link to the video, and I can tell you guys about it in a second. I believe it's a YouTube channel called The Dollhouse, where they have like different trans women on, and they talk about sex and just life or whatever. She said the woman in the video likes to top guys and assume the more dominant role with her partners. What is your opinion on this subject? Have a good day, Steve. Well, what is my opinion on the subject? I guess I have a few. Now, what do you say about a guy like myself who openly has a preference for transgender women, which I do, but I don't like to be dominated, which means I don't like to sit there and take it up the ass and be told what to do and all that type of shit. That's just not how I roll. Like I said before, I've tried it before with actual men. Now, I've never been topped by a transgender woman, so I mean, I don't know if I would like it or not. My ex Chiva in Cambodia, she didn't want to top me, but she used to want to lick my ass. Like, she used to want to eat my ass, and I would never let her do it ever. Not even a little bit. And she actually got a little frustrated. She's like, you just need to learn how to relax and enjoy yourself. Why won't you let me do it? Because I guess all the other guys that she was with, they all liked it. So I mean, I just thought it was weird. I just didn't like it. I was not into getting my butthole licked, and maybe I would like it. I don't know, but it's not something that I sit there and think about. Like when I'm jerking off, like, oh, I want to get my butthole licked by a trans woman. Oh, that sounds amazing. I want her to shove her cock up my ass. Yeah, great. No, I mean, to me, if you're a guy like myself, like a masculine, dude, and I don't want to be too judgmental, because first off, there's nothing wrong with enjoying yourself in the bedroom. If there's something that you like, then that's fine. But it's a bit questionable when a man is with a trans woman who obviously has a cock, and he likes to take it up the ass all the time from her and doesn't like to fuck her that much. Like, what does that say about the guy? It says that he loves it up the ass. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, he would rather just a man fuck him, like a legit man. But it makes him feel better in the back of his mind knowing that it is a dick, but it's like a girl dick. It's like a female dick, I guess you could say. So maybe the fact that they're trans or whatever, like you want to call them a she-male or whatever you want to call them, even though to me, well, I mean, I guess they are, because like if you watch a lot of she-male porn, which I have, I mean, obviously, a lot of them do the fucking. Like, I can't watch a porn with a trans girl who's doing the fucking. It's just like that's not what it's about for me. Like, to me, if you're transgender, if you're a transgender woman, then why would you want to use your dick and fuck? Like, you would want to take it up the ass, maybe get your dick sucked on or whatever. But like with Chiva, my ex, she would obviously, give me blowjobs all the time. I would fuck her left and right, but occasionally I would try to suck her dick, because in my mind I was like, well, she'll just like it, like it'll feel good to her. But she would rather get her asshole licked than me suck her dick, because she was like, oh, you're gay, which was so funny to me. It's like I would blow her and she'd be like, why do you want to do that? What are you, gay? It's like, well, what the fuck, dude? Like, I'm with you. Yeah, you do have a dick, and I'm trying to please you. Like, so I'm gay now? What the fuck? It's like there's no winning, you know? It's like if you're it's like if you don't want to see your dick, then then you're a heartless asshole who doesn't get it. But if you do, and it's like you like it, well then she thinks you're gay. So what the fuck, man? I think that's really I just thought that was really funny, man. So now as far as a trans woman who likes to do the topping, I mean, I guess if that's what they're into, the lady in the video who was in the link that Steve sent me, like she even said that trans women wouldn't want to use their dicks because they feel like women. Like why would a woman want to use their dick if it's their dick? They would want to take it or whatever, and maybe even get their dick replaced with a vagina. So I don't know, man. I mean, me personally, I can't see myself enjoying a relationship with a femdom trans woman simply because I don't like to take it up the ass. I have before, and I will admit that anal penetration, along with along with, well, yeah, I guess penile stimulation is enjoyable, but the thought of somebody like holding my hips and pumping me, like that is not, like, to me that's a very demeaning, emasculating thing, and that's just like, it doesn't, like, it just makes me feel badly about myself, to be quite honest. So I don't think I would be into that. However, let's say that I was with somebody that I loved and really cared about, and they really wanted to put it up my ass. I mean, I guess it depends on how big it is. Like if you're fucking packing a damn Subway foot long, then it ain't happening. But if you got, like, something that's not gonna fucking split me apart, then I guess if that's really what you want to please yourself, I suppose. But I'd have to be honest and say that that's not something that I would want to do all the time whatsoever. Like that's a once in a while type of thing. And even then, I don't know if I'd be into it. So I basically what I'm into is I like to fuck ass. I like to eat ass. I like to get my dick sucked. I like to suck dick. And aside from that, it's just all sensual from there. But as far as my sexual preferences goes, that's it. And when I say eat ass and fuck ass, I'm only talking about a smooth, very feminine ass. It cannot be like my ass, like a hairy fucking, butt crack, a hairy butt crack with like my asshole has a mustache. That's how masculine my ass is. So it's just not something that I would be into. But Steve, I appreciate the email, man. And I just feel like any dude whose preference it is to take it up the ass from a femdom woman is pretty much just. Now again, I could just be judgmental as fuck, and maybe I'm a hypocrite for saying this, but I just feel like you're kind of just gay, just because. Why wouldn't you want to do the fucking? Like, you just want to take dick up the ass? I don't know, man. To me, there's something up with that. Again. Am I an asshole? Possibly. That's very, very possible. Anyways, man, I don't really have a whole lot else to say in this episode. Cut this one a bit short. I just wanted to put one out today. I always appreciate feedback. Like I said, I know that the B-holes get a lot of dislikes from people on YouTube. Again, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to continue to do what I do. If you don't like them, then don't listen to them. And I feel like a lot of it's just trolling as well, but actually, and one last thing I want to say that I should mention is in the video I made that I also just mentioned called "Goodbye Cambodia ... fuck Prime Minister Hun Sen." I had mentioned in that video that if I didn't say bye to you after I left Cambodia, or like while I was there, if I didn't say goodbye to you before leaving to America, that I didn't give a fuck about you whatsoever. And that's, you know what, that's not true. That's entirely untrue. I actually can think of quite a few people that I did not say goodbye to, not because I don't like them, but because I feel like they didn't like me, and like they wouldn't give a fuck that I'm leaving. But there are several people, and I'll just say their names. I mean, this isn't everybody, but a gentleman by the name of Kareem Stanton. Who else? Helen Low. There's just a lot of random people that I'm naming right now, but there are quite a few people that I just didn't care to say goodbye to. Again, not because I don't like them as people, but because there were certain circumstances where we stopped talking and we stopped communicating with each other because of personal shit or whatever, but I'm still always going to miss these people. I will never forget about them. They in fact did leave a very positive impact on me. And I guess I just wanted to put that out there, that pretty much everybody that I met in Cambodia was all right. There's only a couple people off the top of my head that I would genuinely not care if I ever saw again, or would prefer to never see again. I'm sure you guys can think of a few people. So, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the B-hole. Hope you guys don't mind me rambling too much. But like I said, if you don't like it, then obviously just simply don't listen to it. I will continue to put these out, my podcast. I'm always open to criticism, constructive criticism rather. And if you guys want to shoot me an email, I've actually got 2 emails, which I'm going to put in the description box below. I've got nojokestriking@gmail.com, and I've got the bholeshow@gmail.com, THEBHOLE show@gmail.com. Also, you guys follow me on Instagram at Brayton Like Satan, and check me out on Facebook, facebook.com/thebholeshow, or facebook.com/nojoke_howard, and I'll put all that bullshit in the description box below. Anyways, y'all, hope you enjoyed the show. Everybody have a great weekend, and talk to you next time. Peace.